We are in Bedford doing a high efficiency furnace and 18-seer condenser coil swap out. This is the old unit. This is where we're going to start taking this out, and we have about 3.5 feet of clearance in here, and that's our little access. Yeah, not a lot of room. Definitely going to have to remove that ladder if we're going to fit anything in here. The first thing you want to do when taking out a furnace is disconnect the gas and the electrical, and then the low voltage, and then you can start on the supply and return after that. There's a gas valve up there that I'm going to close, and then turn the switch off for the electrical right up here, and then I can disconnect the gas on the union and start just cutting wires. This is the switch you'll use to kill the power. All units should have a safety switch. This is an older style gas valve. When the line is in line with the pipe, that means the gas valve is on, but see how it's against it? It like cuts it off, that means the gas valve is off. I just disconnected the electrical and some caps on there. Right now, I'm disconnecting my low voltage. Every time I do this, I label it. I do this so I can remember where my wires land when the new units are in. The furnace is literally the exact same size as this hole. So we're probably gonna have to take some wood out to give us a little more clearance, and this ladder's gonna have to come out too. We are recovering the refrigerant, so we're taking it out of the system and putting it into that tank. I have one hose going into my system through my gauge, and then one going into the machine, and then one going into the tank. It's basically just sucking it into the tank. And you always want to hook up to the liquid side of your tank. There's always a vapor and a liquid. That one's labeled liquid. That's what we're going to put it in. Another good practice is to weigh in all the refrigerant you recover, so you know how much you pulled out. So you set up your recovery tank on the scale, zero out the scale, and then when you start recovering, it'll start telling you how much you're pulling out. Now that it's all recovered, I'm just gonna cut the pipes, undo the wires, and wheel this thing out of here. The Condo Association, well, they have some very muddy grass over there, and they didn't want any damage to the lawn, so the maintenance guy asked us to go all the way around. Yeah. Sensitive ground. We are laying down rocks and leveling the pad so we can mount the condenser to it. And usually, depending on the brand, Goodman's, you need 10 inches of clearance on all sides. We're doing 12 because it's a big one, but it's 10 in the book. 12 inches from this wall, 12 inches from that wall. Once I found my level spot, I'm going to tighten these up. I use 2 nuts and a washer on the bottom and then 1 nut on the top. So they're vibration pads. They suppress the vibrations and the sounds it makes. You always want to put these on they control the vibration and they stop the sound, because when the fan's moving, everything will vibrate, and on this, it won't be good. We're about to try and get this furnace on those hangers somehow, and I don't want to scratch it, so I'm going to try and lay it down on a creeper and wheel it in. That is cutting a hole in the bottom of the furnace for the return. So he's cutting it, and then we're going to try and slide it into place. put level on top of the units while we were sliding them together, and then just kind of, when we found the perfect spot, just held it still and sent some screws in. It wasn't easy though, easier said than done. This is mastic tape, mastic sealant. Use it to seal up any air holes that are in the system, like on these transitions where it goes from furnace to coil, or you gotta seal it with mastic tape. And then you just squeegee over it. I cut little strips of sheet metal. I'm going to use them to secure the evaporator coil to the top of the furnace. I'm going to screw it in and tape it up, and these are like my stabilizers. As you can see, the return doesn't exactly line up with the hole that was cut in the bottom of the furnace. So we just cut little sheet metal. Most of the time it's not going to line up. So you just gotta make like little transitions. In this case, I made a little piece of sheet metal that I'm gonna screw on like that. And then of course, mastic tape over it like before. Okay, and I'm gonna do that all around. We are currently drilling a hole for the line set. The current line set was too small for the unit, so we upgraded it with a bigger line set, so that means